Imagine growing up in silence. No school, no birth certificate, no freedom to question. This is the story of breaking through walls built by fear and discovering that real education isn't about books or degrees. It's about finding your voice, even if it means leaving everything behind. The journey to self-empowerment. Tara Westover's Educated is not merely a memoir, it's an odyssey of personal revolution. It's the story of a woman who grew up in a survivalist family in rural Idaho with no formal education and went on to earn a PhD from Cambridge University. But more than academic achievement, Educated explores the painful process of separating from everything you've known to become who you were meant to be. You can love someone and still choose to say goodbye to them. That line captures the heart of this memoir. Courage through contradiction, love tangled with pain, and the ultimate power of becoming educated, not just in books, but in self-awareness. Part 1. Life Before Learning, Roots in Isolation. Tara was born into a deeply religious survivalist family. Her father believed in preparing for the end days and rejected government institutions, including hospitals and schools. This created a childhood steeped in fear, labor, and physical danger. Tara and her siblings were taught to distrust the outside world. She worked in her father's junkyard facing hazardous tasks with no safety measures. Her mother, a midwife and herbalist, provided medical care at home. No trips to the hospital, even in emergencies. No birth certificate, no school enrollment. Tara grew up without an official identity. Despite the chaos, Tara developed a love for learning. She read religious texts, practiced math with old textbooks, and began to dream of something beyond the mountain. This section is about awakening curiosity when the soul begins to stretch towards something greater than its cage. Part 2. Family, Belief, and Control. At the core of Tara's early life is her relationship with her father, a man consumed by paranoia and rigid ideology. He controlled the family through fear and doctrine, often forcing dangerous work and dismissing medical emergencies as spiritual tests. Compounding this was Sean, Tara's brother, who was abusive and emotionally manipulative. His violence was swept under the rug or dismissed as divine punishment. These experiences carved deep psychological scars. But Tara didn't just endure, she questioned. And that questioning became her first rebellion. First, the mountain taught me how to read. Then it taught me how to question. This phase marks the collision of loyalty and autonomy, when the need to belong clashes with the need to break free. Part 3. The First Steps Toward Education. With little formal schooling, Tara began preparing for the ACT on her own. It was nearly impossible. She didn't know what the Holocaust was, had never written an essay, and couldn't answer basic historical questions. But something stronger than fear pulled her forward. Hope. She studied late into the night. She got accepted to Brigham Young University. She entered a lecture hall for the first time at age 17, surrounded by students whose lives were utterly different from hers. This section showcases the power of self-driven learning, not just academic, but emotional and cultural. The shock of the real world. At university, Tara's beliefs were challenged. She learned about world history, science, and oppression. Most of it felt like her foundation was cracking beneath her feet. Moments of cultural confusion and shame haunted her. Asking what the Holocaust was and being met with laughter. Feeling out of place. Silenced by insecurity, confronting her family's narrative against the evidence of books and professors. Yet through this disorientation, she began to build a new worldview, layer by layer. Part 4. Becoming Educated, More Than Just Degrees. Tara went on to study at Harvard and later Cambridge, where she earned a doctorate in history. But her journey was never about impressing others. It was about understanding herself. She writes candidly about identity fragmentation, how each new idea, each book read, made her feel both liberated and unmoored. The decisions I made after that moment were not the ones she would have made. They were the choices of a changed person, a new self. Educated teaches that education isn't just about facts. It's about forming your identity in truth, not trauma. Tara had to unlearn shame, fear, and familial loyalty before she could step into her authentic self. Part 5. Severing and Healing. Perhaps the most gut-wrenching part of the memoir is Tara's gradual detachment from her family. Despite her efforts to reconnect, the family refused to acknowledge abuse, continuing to twist truth into control. Tara chose the painful path of estrangement, not from anger, but from integrity. Her father saw her education as rebellion. She saw it as survival. This decision wasn't binary. It was heartbreakingly complex. Tara writes of the grief that comes with growing up, with letting go, and with choosing honesty over harmony. I am not the child my father raised, but he is the father who raised her. This duality, the love and loss, is what makes Educated so hauntingly beautiful. It's about becoming even when the cost is everything you once called home. Themes that inspire. Transformation. Tara's evolution from isolated child to scholar is a testament to the power of questioning, exposure, and courage. It's a reminder that transformation isn't instant. It's a slow burn through fear, conflict, and truth. Education as liberation. True education isn't confined to classrooms. It's about awakening. Tara's journey shows that learning can pierce through ideology, rewrite self-image, and pave a path toward freedom. Resilience. In the face of poverty, abuse, and emotional exile, Tara persisted. Her grit was intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. She chose growth over guilt, awareness over obedience, identity. Tara's memoir is a map of identity, drawn through rejection, reflection, and rebellion. She teaches that knowing yourself may cost everything you once believed, but it's worth it. Lessons to apply in life. Question inherited beliefs. Just because you were taught something doesn't mean it's true. Learn with intention. Education is most powerful when driven by purpose, not performance. Build emotional courage. Facing the truth requires strength, not just intellect, but heart. Know when to walk away. Sometimes love must come with boundaries. Sometimes truth demands distance. Own your story. You don't have to erase your past. You can reclaim it, rewrite it, and rise from it. Final reflections. What it means to be educated. Tara Westover's Educated is ultimately a story about reclaiming power, not through domination, but through understanding. It reveals that the path to growth is messy, painful, and often lonely, but it's also sacred. My life was narrated for me by others. Their voices were forceful, emphatic, absolute, but it was a story I could not make my own. In telling her story, Tara found her voice, and in reading it, we're reminded that we can do the same. This isn't just a memoir, it's a mirror. It invites us to examine our own upbringing, beliefs, and potential, and then ask, what might I become if I choose truth over fear? Thanks for watching Audio Mentor, where every book brings you closer to a better you. If you found value in today's summary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a chance to grow.